all the way from Riverside, California. I'm so excited to have him on today. Van is an accomplished coach, business owner, trainer, sales expert. Started off as a personal trainer, or started off in college as a college athlete, went on to become a personal trainer and a coach, and continued to progress and improve over time, and always working on becoming an even more excellent version of himself. And he went on to become VP of sales for multiple big box gyms, helped gyms to open, and go from 0 to 7, 8 figures in sales, leading those sales teams, teaching sales, and then eventually transitioned out of that and into, what's up, Felipe? We got Felipe on here. Transitioned into becoming a online coach and teaching other coaches how to start their online program. So I'm super excited for him to be here today. He's going to be dropping some value bombs today.
Oh, yeah.
If you're here live, go ahead and do a hashtag live, hashtag VT for Van Taylor. And if you're on the replay, go ahead and do a hashtag replay. And now I want to turn it over to the man, Van Taylor, and just let you kind of share a little bit about your journey. I know I recapped it, but I want to hear it from you, really how you ended up doing what you're doing today, where you started, and, so floor is yours here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, first off, I'm very honored to be on your podcast and to go live with you. I've known you for about a year now, I think, going on a year, and I've seen you do some awesome stuff. And I know that you're to the moon, man. You're on the rise. So I'm happy to be a part of this. So that's the first thing. So now I get to talk about myself, right? Everybody,
That's right. Oh, wait, before you talk about yourself, also, anyone that's listening, make sure you stick around, because at the end of this, Van Taylor has graciously going to be giving away his 7-figure sales framework, literally a framework that has been used by not just Van, but the coaches that he's taught and all of the trainers throughout his career that he's taught, to literally close well over $1 million in sales, multiple millions of dollars. So stick around for that. That's going to be super exciting. So, sorry, back to you. Go ahead. Yeah. This is a point when you get to share. This is all about
there you go. So who am I? Who's Van Taylor? I'm a guy. I grew up very quickly, started my family early. I had my first child when I was 16 years old. So I had to grow up really fast because I was a kid having kids. I grew up, my parents kept us in, nice neighborhoods and things like that, but they never had extra money to give us, the extras, you would say, the nice shoes, being able to go on family trips and things like that. So for me growing up, I thought I was missing out on a lot of things. I thought I was underprivileged. So it really motivated me personally to make sure that I always put myself in a position to have the things that I wanted, to be able to live life on my own terms, not be able to be tied down to a specific area or a specific place, and to just have the freedom to be able to do the things that I wanted to do. So early on, because I had a child early, it forced me to grow up quickly. I always had odd jobs, or I was always hustling on the side. Even when I was in high school, having a kid in high school, I had to make money to be able to support this kid and things like that. So I would always do like little odd jobs, lawn services. I would sell CDs, outside of grocery stores. I would sell, bootleg perfumes. I would have like little odd jobs in the mall or the movie theater, things like that, while going to school and being an athlete. So what ended up happening is it affected me to become the athlete that I wanted to be. I was very gifted and talented, and should have been an NFL star athlete. But for the fact that I was one foot in I would say hustling, one foot in school, focused on sports, then it makes you regress in both. So I was very talented. I had all the skill sets in the world. I had scholarship offers to Division I schools, but I didn't get my grades. My grades weren't right, so I wasn't able to qualify for a scholarship. So I ended up having to go to a junior college, and did really well. Ended up getting a scholarship to a 4-year university. And then when I went to that university, I got into some trouble. So I got kicked out of the school, actually ended up going to jail. And it really, that kind of impacted my whole life, because it was like, okay, what are you doing here? Are you trying to be an athlete? Are you trying to be a hustler in the streets? Like, what are you really trying to accomplish? And I said, you know what? I need to get my life together. And once I got kicked out of college and I got out of jail and kind of figured out, hey, what do I want to do? Do I want to go to the NFL? Do I want to work? What do I need to do? So I continued. I did both. I went into the fitness industry. I hired a trainer, a coach to train me, to get me ready for the NFL Combine. I was every day like grinding, 8 hours in the gym, making sales, making money doing that, training in the mornings, training in the middle of the day, training at night, and end up actually getting some offers for some NFL teams to come do some tryouts. I end up making a practice squad for the Buffalo Bills, end up getting hurt, and my NFL career really didn't prosper. So as a trainer at the time in the fitness industry, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go all in on this. I see the vision, I see what these gyms are making, I see what the whole like gym life is about. So I'm gonna go all in on this because I know I can help people. So I transitioned from being a trainer and went into sales, because for me, the hardest part of fitness is actually committing people, getting people to get started is what I figured out was the hardest thing. So once you have a client started, if you're a good trainer, it's easy to get them results. But the hardest part is really getting them to make that commitment to make the financial decision. So I really was focused on the sales process, and I ended up actually taking a little bit of what the gym gave me and doing my own research. And I created a sales process that to this day, gyms are using right now. Big box gyms, Crunch Fitnesses, LA Fitnesses, a lot of gyms throughout the United States are using my sales process that are doing millions and millions of dollars of revenue for their gym. So kind of fast forwarding over the last, I would say first 10 years of my career, I personally sold probably about over $15 million of personal training sales with my own hand, with my own pen, they say. Mm-hmm. And I've taught hundreds of people in the gym setting, in the corporate world, hundreds of trainers and managers to sell also millions of dollars worth of personal training. And what I always told everybody that I've ever developed and helped is that you're not selling anybody anything, actually. You're actually just empowering them to make a decision regarding their health and fitness goals. So I changed the mindset really of personal trainers and salespeople all across the United States to say, listen, all you have to do is empower these people to make a decision regarding their health and fitness goals. And once you can do that, then it's just about what's comfortable for them financially. So I made these gyms millions and millions of dollars, helped them scale 7, 8 figures. And I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm tired of making these gyms multimillionaires. And the people that were suffering were the trainers that were only making $16 to $25 an hour. They were in the gyms all day, coming in for those 4 a.m. sessions, split shifts, odd times of the day, in and out of the gym, having to train clients basically without getting paid, because they're doing meal plans and they're talking to their clients off of the clock. So I said, you know what, I'm tired of the system, because my system, yeah, it's great and it's helping clients get started, but it's making the gyms millions and millions of dollars. But the trainers that are servicing these clients are really the ones that are suffering, because they're not getting paid what they're worth. They're really getting taken advantage of, because their passion is to help people. And yeah, they're getting paid a couple $1,000s a month to help these people, but they can't have any financial freedom that way. They can't really go out and build a legacy working for these gyms. So I said, you know what? For me personally, I'm tired of contributing to a system that's broken. And also, too, for me, I never saw my family as well, because I was always at the gym. Even though I made it to VP and I was, really high up in the ranks, I still was trading time for money. I still had to be, on the clock. I still had to be managing the other locations. I still had to be doing all this work for other people. And I got tired of it. So about 2 years, I said, you know what, I'm gonna walk away from this and I'm gonna do my own thing. And I knew that the online coaching was a real big thing. It was really blowing up. I knew a lot of people that were making multiple 6 figures online. So at the time, though, I was kind of naive to the fact that you had to have some type of presence online, right? You had to at least have an Instagram account, or you had to at least be on Facebook, even though if you weren't Instagram famous or you didn't have 1 million followers, on your social media accounts, you needed to at least have an account. For me, I didn't even have an account. I wasn't on social media because I didn't need to be with the job that I had. So
Right.
I had to create an Instagram account. I had to go live for the first time. I was nervous. I was like, man, this is crazy. This feels weird. It's like, who am I? Hell am I even talking to? Right? You're going live. You know that you don't even have
Yeah,
any followers,
you're
right?
going live to no one, but you're like, I'm
Yeah,
live.
like
I'm out there.
it's just weird, right?
Yeah.
Super weird. I'm like, this is crazy, right? So I kind of broke out of that shell and started getting on social media and growing my following and really being able to utilize the platform of social media to be able to reach out to clientele. I hired a few coaches. I invested, 5 figures in a couple coaches to get really the game plan so I could speed up my process of being able to learn the online game. Yeah, I knew how to sell. I've done millions of dollars of sales and training, but it's a little different when you're online. It's a different sell, right? So I said, you know what, let me get what's working. I took their systems of the coaches that I had and I made it my own. I said, you know what, I'm gonna combine all the knowledge that I have and I'm gonna take the system that these people have and I'm gonna make it my own and make it work. So my first 3 months online, I think I did like 68,000 or almost $70,000 in 3 months online. And I said, okay, this works. Okay, I'm making more money than I was making at the gym. For me, I was able to impact people more. I was able to give more time to the clients. So I said, okay, I have now a proven system. I know I can do this. Let me go back to my passion. Because yes, I like to help people get in shape physically, but for me, I like to help people build their business. I like to help people make money. So I said, let me go grab all these trainers that I used to work with, all these people that were in the trenches, settling for $16 to $25 an hour from these corporate gyms. Let me give them these secrets. Let me show them. So I took a couple of trainers that I knew that I was friends with. I gave them the concept. They got wins. They made it work. I'm like, okay, this can work, right? So I said, you know what? I'm all in on coaching trainers to get out of the rat race. So for me, my focus is trainers that are coming out of these big box gyms, coming out of these corporate gyms that want to go online, that want to get their freedom back, that want to get paid what they're worth. I'm really passionate about helping these people. So I've been really blessed to be successful in this realm and to really figure it out and to get some good coaches and mentors along the way that have helped me speed up my process. I'm still a student myself. I still have mentors and coaches. So I'm just really blessed right now to be able to have good students, I would call them, good coaches that I coach right now that are getting some wins, that are making it happen online, especially with this virus and this COVID-19 of gyms shutting down. It just really sped up the process, probably about 2 to 3 years of where it was going anyway, of a lot of these gyms going online and a lot of clients wanting to do online training. So I'm pretty blessed, man. So that's kind of my story of where I'm at currently.
What a story. Dan, thank you for sharing all that. Number one, Fritz, what's going on? Glad to
Big
have you
Fritz,
here.
what's up, man? Let's link up, man. I ain't seen you in a while, man. Come on now.
And then we got Felipe, and we got Sally, we got Wow, we got Let's Go Champ. So people are digging it.
There we go.
There's so many amazing lessons that you shared actually, like in your journey. And I think that one key piece was that, like, whenever you wanted to progress, whenever you wanted to make like a really bold step, you hired a coach. Like, you were like, I know that I need someone else. And even in your own like personal journey, when you were trying to get better at sales and trying to improve the processes, you're like, I need to do my own research. I need to find like this other information, this new information that's going to change the game. And so, yeah, Fritz is alive. Hello.
Yeah, I see you.
And then, so I think that that's a super key lesson, and just really like persevering through struggles, through challenges. And so thanks for sharing that. Anyone that's on here right now, we're on here with Van Taylor. He is an expert online fitness coach and business coach. And if you want to connect with him, if you're loving what he's saying, you love his story, you want to follow him, you want to connect with him, go and follow him on Instagram at the Van Taylor 1. And then if you want to stick around to the end, or if you're watching this on the replay, I'm going to drop his 7-figure sales framework in the comments below. It's something that he crafted for over 10 years, probably closer to 15 to 20 years of his life crafting this framework that's allowed him and several other people to sell millions of dollars in sales in the fitness and wellness space. So definitely stick around for that. I want to transition here and talk a little bit about, because you kind of mentioned this, that like people are going into the online space right now and they're transitioning, but you said like people aren't really doing it, like people need support. So like what are some of the mistakes that you see fit pros are making when they're transitioning online? Like just because this whole COVID thing, they're like, oh shoot, I need to get online. Like what mistakes are you seeing?
Yeah. So first of all, this is a crazy time. Anybody that has had any family members that have passed away or that are sick from this pandemic, my heart goes out to you. And this is a very serious situation. So I really want to make sure everybody understands it's serious, and it's a messed up situation, especially for people that have lost lives. I know people personally that have lost family members to this virus. So my hearts are out to those families and anybody that has been directly impacted by this from anybody that's, health-wise, right? So transitioning into the business-wise of what's happening right now is people are reacting, right? They're being reactive to their gyms closing, to their incomes being cut. And I'm specifically talking about trainers, online or personal trainers that were working at big box gyms, or someone that had a studio of their own or a gym of their own that cannot open and they did not have an online program set up. So what's happening is for fitness trainers, they're going online and they're trying to do virtual sessions, like one-on-one sessions virtually, like over Zoom, like one-offs though. So the problem with that is from a standpoint of scaling, it's not scalable and you're still trading time for money. So if you're training someone through a Zoom call and it's an hour session or a 45-minute session and you're only dealing with that one client, then you're only going to get paid for that one client at that one time. And then they're paying you for individual sessions through a Zoom call. So that's the first mistake that I see people making, is that they're not utilizing technology. They're not utilizing fitness apps to be able to deliver people online workout programs through an app-based workout, to where it's not live, but they can be able to have instructions. They can be able to have how many sets they need to do, how many reps they need to do. It could be based off of what equipment they have access to, dumbbells, kettlebells, resistance bands, TRX. So there's a lot of ways that people can do workouts from home right now, but utilizing a app-based workout. So that's the first mistake I see people making to retain their current clients that they have, or to even get new clients. They're trying to do virtual sessions, one-on-one, trading time for money. So that's the first mistake that I see a lot of coaches and gyms making. The second mistake I see people making is they're going for low ticket. They're charging very low prices for their online coaching programs. They're charging $100, $150, $50 a month, things like that, which is, it's impossible for you to, if you're not already a social media influencer or you don't have lots and lots of followers, to scale that up, especially if you don't know how to run Facebook ads, if you don't have a big budget to run ads on social media sites, on Instagram and Facebook, to be able to drive traffic to a low barrier offer like that. Also, too, it goes back to point one. If you're doing virtual sessions one-on-one, how many possible clients can you train in a day? And if you're only charging them $100, $150 a month, then you're going to be very capped at what you can make. You're going to be capped at 2, 3, maybe even 4,000 maximum a month. So you're still trading time for money. Your income threshold is very low, and it's going to be very hard for you to be able to get long-term results that way. The third mistake I see people making is their content is very bland, I would say. It's very vague. It's not specific. It's not talking to us. Hey, I'm the weight loss guy. I can help everybody in the world lose weight. Or, hey, I'm the muscle building guy. I can help everybody gain muscle. Or, hey, I can help you do a home workout at home with no gym equipment, but I'm talking to everyone. So when your messaging is not to a specific group of people, in the marketing world, we call it an avatar, right? If you're not talking to your avatar, to your specific ideal client in a way that you're hitting their pain points, in a way that you're talking them to things that they're struggling with specifically, talking about things that might keep them awake at night, talking about things that they might complain about to their friends and family, talking about things that the mistakes that they're currently making right now. If you're not talking to these points specifically to this group of people, then your content is going to get lost in all of these millions of trainers that have just went online in the last 30 to 45 days, right? You just had an influx of over 1 million people go online saying that they can help people with workouts. 1 million people are online that weren't online 45 days ago. So how are you going to stand out from these 1 million plus people that just got online on top of the other millions of people that were already online? So that's the 3 biggest mistakes I see them making. They're doing virtual sessions, trading time for money. They're doing low barrier offers with no ability to run Facebook ads or to scale that, no funnels, no process. And then their content is really vague and it's not talking to one specific person. I can go into like 6 other mistakes, but I just want to go to those 3 main mistakes, because if those 3 components don't get fixed, then those other things that they're making mistakes on really don't matter, because they're never going to get past these 3 things.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Super critical there. Basically, all 3 points combined, basically, if you do individual training, there's going to be there's a cap of how much time you have. And if you're doing low ticket, then there's a serious cap on how much you can earn. And then basically, if you're talking to everyone, then you're talking to no one.
Yes.
Like, if your content's too broad, then there's no one that you're specifically reaching. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. Those are critical.
Yeah.
Critical things.
Critical, like out of 10, those are like 11s.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do get the mindset of why they're doing it, because for me, you don't know what you don't know, right? That's why we get mentors. That's why we get coaches. That's why we get help. Because if you don't know better, right, how can you do something different, right? So I get it, why they're doing it. I'm not knocking them because they just don't know. But those are some 3 big mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, we got James in here. He says, what's up? And Sally has a question here. Okay. So how has the online virtual space changed your approach to sales? So this is like directly correlated to the last couple points that you were making. You know, like, how should people be shifting their sales virtually, you know, in this time, especially?
Yeah. So specifically for online coaches, if you are, let me talk to someone that's already an online coach. Okay. How should you be shifting your sales? You basically need a sales process that is can be affected by a pandemic or can be affected by a recession, right? Because if you're speaking to your ideal client, if you have a irresistible offer, I say, to your ideal client that is a no-brainer to them, and you believe in your product and you have the ability to deliver a product that's going to get them results, then there's really no adjustment you need to make in your sales process. Now, if you don't have a sales process, if you're going from being an in-person trainer and you're transitioning online and you've never sold online before, then you have to understand a couple of different things. For one, you don't have the ability now to have the gym's credibility anymore. It's you. It's your own brand now that they're going for, right? It's you. So how do you get people to know, like, and trust you within your sales process? So that's really the biggest thing when you're going from offline to online and to cold traffic, we call it, people that don't know you. How do you get them to know, like, and trust you? And that's going to be coming from your content. That's going to come from you showing your clients some testimonials that you possibly can have, even if you don't have any online clients testimonials, some in-person trainer testimonials, getting them to come into your life a little bit, going live, talking about yourself, things that can relate to your ideal client. humanizing yourself a little bit, letting them know mistakes that you've possibly made and things that you've overcome. So I would say if someone's transitioning online, you just need to get these people to know, like, and trust you to where you can send them through your sales process in a way that you can be effective. And then you have to gain a sales process. The difference from in-person and online is you can't work people out. You can't send them through a quote unquote consultation session, right? So you're going to have to get very good at being able to dig into people's pain points, why they're really struggling, what's happened in the past, why haven't they been able to do it on their own, and really be able to talk to those points within your sales process. So when you do present what you do differently, you can give them clarity on why you're different versus the things that they're struggling with right now and what they've tried in the past.
Dude, that's so powerful. Just want to re-clarify. You need to readjust your sales process so that your marketing gets people to know, like, and trust you. Your content gets people to know, like, and trust you. And then your sales process needs to get very laser focused on being able to dig deeply into why people want to make a serious change in their health and fitness and how you're different.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's so, like, that is some gold gems right there. If you are on here right now with Van Taylor, if you're live, go ahead and drop a hashtag gems down below, because there are some serious gems being dropped right now. And if you want to connect with Van Taylor, you can connect with him at Instagram at the Van Taylor 1. And should I give him the 7-figure sales framework right now?
Yeah, for those people, you might have something coming up. You might have to hop off. So go ahead and give the people that are here. Go ahead and give it to them.
Okay, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to drop it in the comments right below right now. So this is, Van, can you tell them a little bit more about what this is? Because I've kind of spoken to it, but I want to hear it from you.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm giving you guys is it's going to send you through my messenger sequence. It's going to give you the ability to have my sales process that I've used, that my current students, my current clients are using right now. One of my partners, Tobias Young, he's a multiple 6-figure coach. He uses the same sales script. He's going to be on there. You're going to get a video from him explaining the sales process. So it's going to actually give you my sales script that I use right now to scale my business to multiple 6 figures to help my coaches get their first 10K in 90 days. So go through this sequence, get the script. And the good thing about what I'm offering here is actually you can actually have a call with one of my coaches to actually explain the script and show you how you can implement it in your business. So it will also once you download, it give you the ability to book a call, so you can actually be walked through how we can implement this within your business and what you do. And if you're not in the fitness space, this can be tweaked to other offers. Like if you're a life coach or if you're any type of coach that's selling a service online, this script can be tweaked for you to be able to get some help regarding what your offer is. So even if you're not in the fitness niche, this script can be tweaked and adjusted to where you can still sell your products online. So go ahead and click that link, go through, get the script, and we'll see you on the other side of success for those that take action.
Let's go. So I dropped that in the comments. Should be able to grab that there. And then also, like, I pose a question to everyone that's listening on the live or on the replay. It's like, if you had an opportunity to just learn more and better yourself, like, why not take it up? Like, if that's something that you wanted,
Yeah.
would you be open for that? And that's what Van is putting in here right now. So go ahead, drop below. Let me at the Van Taylor 1 on Instagram at the Van Taylor 1, and then if you want to grab his 7-figure framework, I did put it. It's scrolling across the screen, and then it's also in the comments below. But I'm going to take it off the screen here as we get into a little bit more conversation, talking about the online fitness space and what else is going on. Again, we're on here with Van Taylor. Van, I just want to appreciate you so much. Like, every time that we speak, you just have so much integrity and just you really care about people. And so I just want to appreciate you for doing that and being a real stand for people to in this space, especially the online fitness coaches, but for everyone, just like to be their best selves and to, come out ahead and improve their life. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
So talking about people who are just starting an online program, like what's the biggest piece of advice that you would give to them?
All right. So this is something that I had to deal with also. So I'm giving you advice that was given to me by my mentors, by my coaches when I first embarked in this journey to go online. So I'm gonna give it to you guys. So the number one advice I could tell you I don't care what your program is, what you're offering online, what you're doing in the online space, whether you're a fitness coach, whether whatever you're offering to people in the online world, right? You have to be you. You have to be yourself. If you try to be someone else, I don't care how famous they are, how many followers they have, how cool they are, then it doesn't matter about what other people think about you, because other people are going to think negatively or positively about you regardless if you're yourself or not. But internally, you're not going to feel good about it. And that's really what matters. Internally, how do you feel, right? Externally, people could think you're amazing, but internally, if you feel like crap, right? Does it matter what they think about you if you feel like crap inside? So if you don't become yourself online, then you're going to have something that's what's called the imposter syndrome, to where you're not going to feel authentic in yourself, even if you're getting by and people buy it. So be yourself. Your brand that you're creating online has to do with your personality and your character and what's unique to you. So if I try to be Michael Rosenberg, I would fail I would fail at that, because I'm not Michael Rosenberg. He has unique things about him that are cool, that I could mimic or try to duplicate because I like certain traits that he has. But if I try to be Michael Rosenberg, I'm going to fail at that, and I'm not going to feel authentic inside. Or if I try to be Michael, what's the dude, Grant Cardone, or if I try to be Tony Robbins, or if I try to be Eric Thomas, I can like certain traits of these people because I resonate with them. But if I try to become them and like copy them and try to talk like them and try to do things exactly the way they do things, then I wouldn't be authentic to myself inside. Now, that doesn't mean you can't take little things, bits and things that you like from certain people and try to duplicate those things. But trying to completely be someone else because you see it's working for them is the biggest mistake you can make. So the first thing I would say is be authentic to you and what your beliefs are and what you truly are passionate about. And then go all in on that. And it's not going to be an overnight success. When I first started on Instagram, I obviously started with one follower, and it took time to build it up, to get, my audience up and to get people engaged. It took time to get my authority in this online space, right? Because initially, I sold millions of dollars of training in person, but what does that matter online, right? People are like, okay, cool, you sold in person, but like, what have you done online, right? So I had to go from millions of dollars worth of training in person to $0 online. So I had to be the guy that started at zero at one point. So you're going to have to be the person that's willing to start from zero and be okay with slow results and be okay with small wins and be okay with establishing your authority in the market space and establishing yourself as someone that is an expert in what you're doing. So you have to just be comfortable and confident in yourself and who you are and what your message is and what you truly believe in, and be comfortable to put that in the online space and be able to help people. Because the reality is, and this is like the most truth I can possibly give you, out of 100 people that are possible people that are going to see your content, 50 of them are not going to like you from the bat. Like 50 just do not resonate with you. So already half are gone to the left, right? Yeah. So you got 50 left. Now out of these 50 left, 25 of them are just going to be neutral to you. They're not going to love you. They're not going to hate you. They're just going to be neutral to you. And then there's going to be 25 that are going to love you. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be like Michael Rosenberg. Like, I don't want to hear no one else besides Michael Rosenberg, or I'm all in on Van Taylor. I don't care. No one else. I'm only listening to him. I love this guy. He's amazing, right? So the other 25 are neutral to me. Sometimes they'll engage, sometimes they won't, and the other 50 are just don't like me just because of my beard or because my hair or whatever, right? Or because I'm tall or whatever the case, my voice tone, whatever. They're just not going to resonate with me. So if you try to please everyone, you're going to please no one. So just be yourself. Go online with your product, your service, whatever you're offering. Make sure you can benefit people, right? Make sure your offer actually helps people solve a problem, right? Because if you don't solve any problems, I'm telling you right now, your online journey is going to be very rough. Mm-hmm. Because you gotta be able to solve. You gotta have some problems you solve, and if you can solve problems, then your following and people that are going to be on your sauce is what we say, on your juice, on your Kool-Aid, is going to keep rising. But just be yourself. Don't be afraid of people not liking you, because people are just naturally going to not like you. And just really go all in on that 25% of people out there that are going to be all in on what you bring to the table.
That is so amazing. Mm-hmm. And I want to speak to this as well. Mm-hmm. In my own journey, like I know personally, like you just got to be yourself. There's no one else who can be the best you. And then additionally, there are people like yourself and other, there are gurus out in the world, but like Gary Vee once said, everybody started with 0 followers, right? So anybody can make it happen. There's nothing stopping you. If you have a phone or a computer and an internet connection, then you can go online, you can be in the online space, and you can be yourself there. And additionally, most people in this online space, like a lot of these business experts, they're like, yeah, we're going to get like 100 clients this month, or we're going to take on, 30 clients this month. It's going to be amazing. But for people just starting out, like it doesn't need to be that huge amount of clients for the most part, especially if you're doing like a high ticket offer, like Van is recommending. Like you only need, you're only 3, maybe 2 or 3 clients away per month from having a totally transformed lifestyle, because you're able to help people powerfully. But because of the time, you save so much on time because you're charging more, you're working with higher quality clients. Like out of those 25 people, out of the 100 people, and remember there are, 2 billion people on Facebook and 1 billion people on Instagram all over the world active monthly. So out of all those people, if you only need like a percentage of a percent, like, is that possible for you to make happen? Like for me, like I know that it is. And, so just keep that in mind. Like I know Van has a goal. I don't know if you share that. What's your goal for 2020?
To help 100 people to break 6 figures.
Yeah. So like that's Van's goal, but that's for the year. And so that's like 8, or what is that? Close 8 or 9 people a month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So like, and Van's like doing it. He's really like going after it. Right. But so like you have to figure out what your true goal is, like for you, that would make your lifestyle work, where you can be yourself, attract the people that actually want to work with you. But like, do you need 100 clients this year, or do you need 5 a month? Do you need 1 a month? Like, what is it for you that's actually going to make a real difference? So just like keep that in mind as we're talking about just like numbers of people that you need to get as clients, because I think it's a misnomer.
Absolutely. And then 2, what's working for the guru, they're at a different level than you. So what's working for them, you don't know all the foundational things they have to build up to get to the point to where that system's working for them. So if you try to duplicate systems and you skipped like 18 steps, that system's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
So the thing is that be you, don't skip steps. You got to go through the grind. You got to go through the, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but late nights, early mornings. You're going to have to really work extremely hard to make. Months ago, know that we were going to be on lockdown for 2 months going? No, right? But things are going to happen that you're going to have to adjust to in your business, and you're going to have to consistently make adjustments. Because if you stay the same in your business, then eventually you're going to fade out, and it's not going to work. So you just got to be aware of things are going to change. But if you're always authentic and true to yourself, then you can get through anything.
100%. So we got Jeffrey on here. He says, great advice. Count me in on that one. 100K. Love that. Sally says, great interview. Let's see. I see someone else. Daryl says, what up, fam? Hello. So anyone else on here, if you're on here right now, give a hashtag Van Taylor down below if you're on here live. And if you're on the replay, give a hashtag Van Taylor on the replay as well. And so, like I said, we're on here with Van Taylor. He is a fitness, wellness, business coach, and fitness coach in itself. And he's been doing sales and an expert in that field, as well as fitness area for years and years and years. And he's giving his 7-figure sales framework. And the best part about this is that it's a framework, so you can take it, you can make it yourself, so that you can follow the advice that he just gave, and you can be true to yourself. And I'll drop that in the comments below again, if you want to grab that. And if you want to follow him, you want to connect with him at the Van Taylor 1 on Instagram, and definitely check out his 7-figure sales framework as well. He said that you are going to actually be able to get on a call with one of his team members as well to actually go through the process to make sure that it can work for you, and you can make it sure that it's just fantastic success, because that's what Van Taylor all is dedicated to, is just like having fit pros and coaches of all sorts be successful. So I got one more big question for you. I know that you said you started in the online space probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah, around 2 years ago, huh?
You know, what mistakes have you made, and like what would you have changed when it comes to moving through those faster or avoiding them all entirely?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So a lot of people don't want to highlight mistakes, right? So we want to be perfect. We want to be like, man, I'm the guy, I'm the successful guy, listen to me, like I got the game plan. But the thing is, right, when you get a coach or a mentor, is your goal is to avoid the mistakes they made, right? So they're going to tell you how to not make the same mistakes that they made. So if you have someone that you're looking to get a coaching program from or mentorship from, and all they show is wins and they have no mistakes, it's like, that's BS, right? So some of the mistakes I made is in my early stages is when you make money, right? When you're making money and you're it's like, okay, do you have a game plan for that money, right? So when your income increases, that shouldn't mean that your expenses increase, right? It shouldn't mean that you should spend more money on things that possibly you might not need, or you can talk yourself into like saying that you need. So one of the mistakes I made was spending money that not reinvested into the business on things that, were liabilities, things that weren't like put in to actually grow the business more, right? So spending habits not being where they should have been, wasting money on things that I didn't need. And that was a big mistake, because that stunts your growth. If you don't have money to expand and to reinvest in your business because you spent it on things that have nothing to do with growth in your business, then it's going to hurt you. And if it doesn't hurt you like initially, it will hurt you long term for sure. So that's one mistake that I would definitely say that if I could go back, I would have spent the money that I was making initially when I first got into the online space more wisely and reinvesting back into the business to where I can make my money work for me, right? So that's one of the mistakes. The second mistake is trying to do everything myself. So when you go online, you're going to get to a point to where you're going to need help. You're going to have to bring on other people. You're going to have to bring on partnerships. You're going to have to bring on employees. You're going to have to bring on experts. You're going to be like you're going to go from trading time for money for a job, and you're going to come back to all your time tied up for your business, to where you have no time to do anything else. So I got to a point to where I literally would wake up in the morning, and from the time that I woke up, from the time that I went to sleep, I was literally working in my business, not on my business. And I'm going to tell you the difference here in a second, but I was working in my business. I was doing all my sales calls. I was doing all the my fulfillment. I was doing all my technical stuff. I was doing all my social media content. I was doing everything regarding my business, and it got overwhelming, and it's stressful, and it's you feel like you don't have a break. And then two, if you have a family, then you have no time for your family, which was something that I was trying to escape from the corporate world, of actually having more time with my family. So, and that was part of my first problem that I said, of not having money, not putting the money in the right place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're spending money on things that don't have to do with growing your business, i.e. growth, bringing on partnerships, employees, bringing in experts that can handle certain things of your business that you don't need to handle anymore, which frees up your time, those things can become a real big problem for your growth and keep you stagnant and frustrated. So first thing, money didn't go to the right places to rebuild my business, and I was doing everything in my business. So when you're working in your business, that means you're handling all the different tasks of your business, from outreach, from sales to fulfillment, and the technical and the content. Now, when you're working on your business, then you have people in place that can handle certain things. You can bring on experts that can handle certain things of your business, to where it actually enhances your business. It gives a better product to your clients, and it gives you the ability to focus on scaling, focus on your vision, focus on new ideas, new concepts that you want to put in place to make your business grow. So now I finally have been able to start working on my business, and now not in my business. So that was one of the mistakes that I was making early on, is trying to do everything myself and not being able to be in a position to scale up. So those are my two biggest mistakes that I made, that I wish that I could go back and change. But now that I've learned from them, that I'm doing better now.
That's good. That's awesome. Yeah. Fritz says, that's me, Mr. Freaking Everything. So we gotta get you working on your business, not in it. And then Sid says, Van is the man, one of my coaches, 100K plus. We got some other hashtag Van Taylors happening here. So people are loving this. And I think that those are really critical mistakes that people are, I mean, I know personally, like I've made similar mistakes, like just getting super caught up in the fulfillment, in the doing portion, and not enough of the working on portion, right? And it just sucks up your time, and all of the freedom that you wanted to have from owning a business turns into you just owning a job, right? And that's what a lot of people fall into. So it takes learning that to get into it. Thank you for sharing that. We're pretty much coming down here to the end. We got about 10 minutes left here. And I want to know, is there anything else that you wish that I had asked, or that you wish that you had shared about, but we haven't really touched on today?
Yes. So I think that the whole thing, man, because I'm big on mindset, and I'm big on like being in tune with your outcome that you want. Like a lot of the problems that I had, and a lot of the success that I had, was all based off of when I was clear on my outcome I wanted. Like, you have to get crystal clear on what is the outcome that you want to achieve from what you're doing. So don't just do things because it makes money. If you do things just because it makes money, and you don't have an outcome that you want to achieve from the money, or you don't have an outcome you want to achieve for helping people solve a problem, or you don't want to have a certain impact that you want to give to the world or to humanity, then you're going to just be doing a lot of tedious things that you really don't feel fulfilled from. So the reason why I have a goal of helping 100 people hit six figures in their business, in their life, is because I feel like if I can empower people to have freedom of time, if I can empower people to have financial freedom, to be able to go do the things they want to do with their families, and to be able to have a clear head and to have a good mindset, then those 100 people that I help, is going to help humanity, because now these are 100 people that are in the world now that can do the things that they want to do in life and be able to help humanity in a positive way. So ultimately, it's helped me help thousands of people. This 100 of people really has helped me help thousands and thousands of people, which fulfills me inside. So that's why I wake up every day and I'm passionate about what I do. And it doesn't feel like work to me. So I've created my outcome. So I would tell people to really get dialed in on the outcome that they want to achieve, the why. I know you hear that cliche, what's your why? But it's really about what the outcome is that you want to achieve. And why are you going to go through all of the ups and downs that you have to go in business and life to be able to achieve that outcome? Because it's not perfect, right? Nothing's perfect. It's going to be stresses. It's going to be times you're going to wake up. There's times I wake up and I don't want to do anything, right? My mind just say, look, I don't want to do anything today. But my why and my outcome overrules that thought of, hey, look, if you don't do anything today, you're basically saying that you don't really want to help these 100 people that you said you wanted to help. You really don't want to help these thousands of people, that you say that you want to help. You really don't want to have freedom of time the way you say you want. So then that thought of me saying, you know what, I don't want to do anything today gets erased by all of those outcomes that I want to achieve. And then it gets my butt out of bed and working and grinding and making it happen. So you have to have the outcome, and you really have to be all in on that outcome. Because if not, you're going to have that little voice in your head of procrastination, of no, I don't need that, of no, I don't want to invest in myself. Nah, I'll just go figure it out on my own. Or nah, I'm comfortable with this paycheck that I'm making every month from my job. At least I have benefits, right? It gets you to settle. If you're settling in life, you'll never be fulfilled. Never settle. I know it's cliches and we see it all the time. Never settle, be your best you, know your outcome, visualize and all that. But at the end of the day, those things only matter is if you really inside have an outcome that you have planned out that you want to achieve. And then those phrases make sense to you. And then you can really go in and make it happen. So that's really the last thing that I wanted to touch on. And then I would, if you can, maybe have people ask some questions, and I can answer like 2 or 3 questions.
Yeah, definitely. If you got a question, go ahead and drop it in the comments below. It's probably going to take a second or two, maybe a minute.
Okay. Let me grab my charger so I don't die real quick.
Okay.
Let me grab my charger.
So if you're just joining us, Van Taylor is a business online expert coach who works with fitness professionals as well as other coaches. And if you have questions, please drop them in the comments below. Anything dealing with sales, anything dealing with content, online business, marketing, mindset, anything surrounding that, go ahead and drop it below. There's no question. The only stupid questions are questions that aren't asked. And drop that below.
So one thing I can say is whenever you're going to do an interview, make sure you have your charger.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. Okay, we got a question here from Hal Pedler. He says, I'm curious, what would you guys say if your biggest what would you guys say is your biggest difficulty in your sales game? Open up to help others. So I think that he's basically asking you, like, what's the biggest difficulty in your sales game, Van?
The biggest difficulty in my sales game?
Let's rephrase this. Let's say, what's the biggest difficulty in your coach's sales game? Like, what's the biggest thing that you see them kind of struggle with?
Okay, so the biggest difficulty for coaches that are transitioning from low ticket to high ticket is to feel that they deserve this money, is to feel like they deserve what they're charging. So their mindset around, like, do they deserve to get high ticket? And how can I ask people for $3,000 for my program and feel confident in that? So I would say the confidence in the offer, and then just the mindset that they deserve that amount of money for their services.
Was that a hurdle that you had to get over at some point too?
For me, no, because I know the value of what fitness coaches do for clients, because I've seen it.
Yeah.
My whole career fears of these life changes that we make. I think we are underpaid. I think $3,000 or $4,000 to help someone change their whole life around is very low. But I do get where they're coming from because I've been around hundreds and hundreds of trainers that have the same mindset around asking for money.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand where it comes from. But for me, I really never had that because for me, I know the value in it because of what it did for my life when I had a trainer and a coach. So I know the value in it. So I would say no, but that's the biggest mistake I would say, or the biggest thing that sales need to be overcome.
Thank you. That's good. Daryl's got a question here. When did you first feel successful? And then we got one more question after this, but when did you first feel successful?
I first felt successful is when I was able to have the freedom of time to actually, you know what? I'm going to say this. Last March Madness, when I was able to sit home and watch March Madness and not have to go into a job and have to work for someone else, and I was able to sustain myself financially to where I felt comfortable enough to watch March like a basketball game in the middle of the day. I know that sounds crazy, but
dude, well, I think that like that instance, Daryl, thank you for that question. I think that instance and having, because that's kind of like an outcome in a way. Like you need to be connected to like, what's that stuff? Like, what's that thing in the middle of the day that you always wanted to do, but you're like too busy for?
Yeah.
Like it's those moments when you're really going to get in tune with what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
that was the first time I've ever been able to watch March Madness, a basketball game on a Tuesday at like a 1 o'clock in the day.
Yeah, see, that's it. So that's a great question, Daryl. Felipe asks, what are your thoughts on creating a community versus just having a bunch of people following you on social media?
I think that you should do both. You can create a community of people so you funnel the people that are on social media to your community. So you get that 25% of people that love Philippe and your brand out of those, people that are following you on social media, and you get them into your community and you build your community. So you do both. You use it as a breeding ground for your community. So you take the cold traffic from social media that love your brand or want to know more about you, you get them into your community, and that energy that you have in your community is going to help grow your community. So utilize both.
Strong answers. This has been absolutely amazing. I want to respect your time, and I just want to acknowledge you for being on here, throwing down some serious value bombs, and just giving away the house and really being open and sharing, what's been working for you, what's been working for your clients, and, the struggles that you've gone through, and just continuing to you're like living into your purpose of helping people to become successful. So I want to thank you for that, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. I look forward to coming back on, man. And don't forget about me, man. When when you got 1 million views on YouTube, man, don't forget about me.
No one will forget about you, man. And the last thing, if you want to connect with Van, number one, I highly recommend getting his 7-figure sales framework. Literally, it's helped him and several other people in the world, like hundreds of people and trainers in the world, do multiple 7 figures with that framework. So grab that. And then he's also throwing in a call with his team to be able to go through the framework and actually make sure that you're using it for you. And then as well, go ahead and follow him on IG at the Van Taylor 1. And remember to go out there today, live into your purpose, become the biggest contribution that you can be to the world, because you absolutely matter, and your influence on others will impact the world forever. So hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, drop a hashtag live or hashtag replay or hashtag dope sauce below. And thank you all for coming out, and have a wonderful day. Let me stop this.